I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we're here to talk about another week's worth of Big Brother.
Oh my gosh, honestly, this is like our second to last month.
I know, we're down to the wire here, people.
It's coming to an end, you
I'm
guys.
Very sad, but very excited to see how it ends.
I know.
And who's gonna win.
This has been a good season. I don't care what you guys say.
That's right.
We have no idea who's gonna win.
That's true. That's actually true.
Right?
But we do know that Julia's not going to win because she was evicted.
Julia's no longer the host.
Yeah.
Once again, they've evicted a floater.
But, right.
Who is not a threat whatsoever.
Yep. Just get all those floaters out of
Get
there.
rid of them.
What are they doing?
Hey, more excitement
Let's
for us.
keep
Whatever.
threats in the house. Yeah. It was a unanimous vote. They decided to get rid of Julia, but she wasn't really initially the target. Initially, Liz was supposed to be the target, but they managed to flip that.
Yes. They didn't show all of this in the TV show, but Julia and Liz had some like bright epiphany moment, light bulb, whatever, and they were like, oh, Vanessa seems shady. I think she's got to deal with Johnny Mac. How many weeks has she been like saving Johnny Mac?
Since he came back in the house, for sure.
It's been weeks, and they just now were like, this seems odd.
Yeah.
I think she has to deal with him.
What's going on here?
Yeah, no duh. And so the two of them start talking about it. They then start talking about it to Austin.
Yeah.
And
they're comparing notes and who has a final two deal with who.
Yeah.
Vanessa has a final two deal with you, Austin?
And Julia's like, I have one with her too. Wait a minute.
What?
And then more and more is revealed. Austin's like, she's really been pushing for Liz to go.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, how dare she?
Yeah.
So they come up with this big plan, which was really exciting at the moment, where they were going to try to trap Vanessa by saying, okay, the twins decided to keep Liz, even though at this point they had decided to keep Julia.
Right.
Because psychologically Vanessa had convinced them of that.
Yes.
So they want to say to Vanessa, we want to keep Liz.
Yeah. What do you say?
And see how she reacts.
So they showed this part on TV. She's like, okay, here's what I'll say. Like, I will flip this vote. I will vote to keep Liz, but I need these three things. And she has that like crazy list of demands where like you can't put me on the block and you have to take me to the final three and like just and Liz is like, yeah, sure, And then in the diary room, she's like, there is no chance I'm following up on this list of crazy demands, but yeah, whatever whatever you need to hear.
At this point, I think Vanessa's gonna sit down with someone and be like, okay, here's the deal. You have to let me win the show.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like basically that's what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to keep me safe and never vote to evict me, and then I'm just gonna win the show.
Yeah, I just need you to forfeit once we get down to final two. So thanks a lot.
And Johnny Mac, for whatever reason, was like just going along. I mean, I guess because of his little deal with Vanessa, that he's kind of like, I'll do whatever you want, Vanessa. And so when she came to him and was like, I think they want to keep Liz, he was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So they unanimously evict Julia.
So she's gone, and then they hold the next HOH competition over the rainbow, where they have to like move the eggs over the chicken wire. And I was like, this must be horrible. It must have lasted so long.
Would have hated it.
And like seeing their like little fingers and all bloody and like on the chicken wire, it just seemed really horrible. And Liz was terrible at it. Steve could not compete, so it was just Liz, Vanessa, Johnny, and Austin. Liz was terrible at it. So Liz sort of right away went for this like side luxury prize.
Which I was glad she did, because I was like, girl, just might as well.
Yeah, get something out of this. So she wins a luxury prize. And then it really was neck and neck between Johnny Mac and Vanessa towards the end.
Towards the end, because at first I thought Austin had it.
The whole way through, it was like,
no.
And I thought Austin, like, he's a big guy. He's probably got long fingers. I thought he was gonna like really rock it because it's easier to like get more finger through the chicken wire with your long fingers.
I guess.
And he really did do well until a certain point, and then he like dropped an egg and just got behind.
He must have gotten tired, like after a while, like it was harder for him,
on
I guess.
Shoulders,
it looked painful to me. So then, because for a minute I was like, oh no, I can't do another week with Austin as a household. Stop it. But then it looked neck and neck with Vanessa and Johnny Mac, and I was like, I'm fine with either one of them winning.
Yeah, like if Vanessa had dropped her last little egg, Johnny Mac would have won. Like it was that close. But she ended up taking it.
I would have liked Johnny Mac to have won a head of household.
I would love that too.
In this
Please,
season.
once.
Jeez.
Good Lord.
Vanessa wins.
Yes. So then she has the daunting task of figuring out essentially like which side of the house is she going to stab in the back. Because she's got an alliance with Johnny and Steve, and she's got an alliance with Liz and Austin.
We knew this moment was going to come eventually. She had played everybody.
Yeah. And now it's arrived.
It's clear at this point that Austin and Liz have to be broken up still.
Yes.
You guys just left a showmance in the game.
Right.
It's clear who's going up.
You have to put them up because
Right?
they're a guaranteed final two. If either of them wins the final head of household competition, they're taking the other one to the final two. That's it. Period.
No argument.
Yeah, that like alliances be damned. That it's a freaking showmance.
Yeah, deals, whatever deals you make, whatever.
So throw them up on the block next to each other.
And with all of her like info gathering, and she's like trying to find her
Yes.
reason.
Oh yeah, right.
It even seemed like Austin was lying to her.
Yes, right?
And so I was like, okay, she's got enough ammo, right?
Right.
No.
No, she puts up Johnny and Steve.
What? Like what?
And then she gives this very strange speech where she's like, Johnny Mac, you win competitions all the time, you're such a threat, which is only really half true because the only competitions that he wins are power veto competitions. And now you're like making him play for the veto to get himself off the block.
Every single person in that house is a threat.
Yeah.
She could have said that to anyone
Totally.
in there.
And then she says to Johnny and Steve, oh, you guys are like a definite final two, you're not gonna bring me. Look who's sitting across the table from them, Liz and Austin. Like, what are you talking about, Vanessa?
I was so, and this is part of the problem with Vanessa, is you don't know what she's like making up and what she really believes.
Yes, right.
And so I kept thinking, Vanessa, you don't really believe that Steve and Johnny Mac are closer than Liz and Austin.
It was a
like
really
Austin
weird
wants
speech.
to marry Liz.
Yeah,
Like,
right. He's in love with
he
her.
wants like a future with her.
Yeah.
Johnny Mac and Steve may never talk ever again after this show is
Exactly.
over. Like what?
Yeah.
I was so confused by that. And also when she was talking ahead of time and she kind of made it clear that Johnny Mac was the person that she was least aligned with. Okay, I can get on board with that. Seems weird, but if Johnny Mac is really your target, then put Johnny Mac up and one of Liston.
Yeah.
I didn't understand putting Steve and Johnny Mac up together. That's one side of the house that you just said I'm not loyal to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a strange strategy.
By that one.
So the other part of this episode was Liz's luxury trip win, which really wasn't a trip. It was just sort of a trip outside of the Big Brother house. So Frankie Grande shows up to the Big Brother house, ding dong, and he like runs in and is like Frankie and like doing weird things and has like glitter on his shoulders and he's Frankie Grande.
He was really glittery.
Oh my god.
And who said that? John was like,
yeah,
really glittery. Like he really was overly glittery.
And they all seemed like very overwhelmed when he came in the house. Yeah. They were like, whoa, yeah, hey, it's like so good to see you. And then in the diary room, they were like, oh my god, it's Frankie Grande. But they were very overwhelmed at first. But he's there to announce that the trip that Liz has won is a trip to see his sister, Ariana Grande, in concert at Staples Center. Well, then, of course, she's like, you know, boys, I'm sorry, but this is a girls' trip, and, like, I'm picking Vanessa, we're going to Ariana Grande. So they go, and then they go and they get, like, their hair and makeup done, and they're getting wigs on, and they're all in disguise because they don't want anybody to, like, know who they are.
That would have been amazing if they were out and someone saw, like, I'd be yelling, like, Vanessa,
yes.
no!
Well, fun fact.
Yes?
I was at the Ariana Grande concert. Yes. And I did not see them, so their disguises must have been wonderful. But I did see Frankie. They were like in the skybox, but we saw Frankie down on the floor, like he was right next to the stage, and he was like dancing and being crazy and whatever. And my friend looks at me and he's like, that's Frankie Grande, right? And I was like, oh my god, it totally is. Look at that pink hair. So we totally spotted Frankie Grande.
Dude, I cannot believe you did not text me at this time.
I know. And I can't believe I was in the same room as Vanessa and Liz and I didn't even know it.
Oh, you should have just been like yelling spoilers.
Yeah, right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
You're like, Frankie's here, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Why would they be there? That's so exciting. Was it a good concert?
It was a great show. She really did put on a great show.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That was a cute little prize.
Yeah, it was cute. Austin definitely did not need to go because let me tell you something. The maximum age for basically everyone else in the Staples Center was 16.
Nice.
Like, I was sitting next to a 10-year-old girl and I was like, what am I doing here?
What were you doing there?
Yeah, well, you know.
Loving it.
Living my best life.
Yeah. Hashtag living the dream.
Yeah. So now it's time for some spoilers, right?
Spoiler time. Who wins Power of Veto?
Our boy, Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac.
We love him so much.
The boy knows how to come through
and pull himself off the block.
When he's not throwing it.
Right, exactly.
Really
when
good.
he actually wants to win the Power of Veto,
Really
he can win it.
Them too.
Yeah.
So Johnny Mac wins the power of veto.
Yep.
Of course, Vanessa's like,
Yeah, she's thrown into a lurch.
What do I do? What do I do? But I just love, this is what I love about Johnny Mac. He doesn't let this stuff get him. If I was put on the block by someone who I thought I had an alliance with,
Right.
I'd be like,
I'd be
so kind of, yeah, I'd be mad, I'd be angry, and I'd be like, well, you're showing your true colors.
Right.
And I'd be like, whatever. He just rolls with it, wins the power of veto if he needs to, and then goes around and starts talking game or making deals or whatever it is that he needs to do. And that, it's a different way to play the game than other people, but it's still a pretty solid way to play the game.
Yeah. Well, and Austin, if you're watching the live feeds, Austin says, like, Johnny Mac finally started playing the game on day 88 or something, which I think he's been playing the game a lot longer than that, but they know now.
That's when it stepped up.
They're being played by him.
Right, exactly. Because, I mean, they devalue him. Like, still they devalue him and think that he's not that great and he's not that smart or whatever. I'm like...
And I feel like even though he won this power of veto, they just sort of look at it as like a fluke. Like, oh, well, it just kind of happened. Yeah. Like, they don't really attribute any kind of skill to him, you know?
Which is weird, because if he were to be final two, like, would he have to explain every little thing to everyone?
Yeah, right.
To make his case? Because people do kind of overlook him.
They totally do.
Anyway, I'm excited.
Oh,
he won
I'm so
power of
thrilled.
veto. He
so
took
he's
himself
final four for sure
off
now.
the block. And Vanessa had to put someone up. Either Austin or Liz, those are her only two choices. And Austin basically volunteered because Liz was on the block last week.
Yes. So he's on the block, and now, essentially, Johnny Mac is kind of controlling the way things are gonna go.
Which is, again, Vanessa, like, what the heck? A minute ago, you were like, I don't have a connection with Johnny Mac. Right. He's gotta go. And she's listing all the reasons he's gotta go. And then as soon as he wins power veto, she sits down with him and she's like, all right, you and I, we gotta figure this out. What are we gonna do? What?
You just put me on the block.
Right?
Like, you think I'm gonna, like, scheme with you now?
But he does, and he's like, yeah, what should we do? Well, is this or what? And then he does something even smarter.
Yes.
He tries to make a final three deal with Austin and Liz. And you know what? Now that I look back and analyze it, it doesn't matter. It didn't have to be finalized. No one had to agree to it. But he tried to make the deal. He said, look, if you guys keep me, I'll go after Vanessa. And you guys are safe, all is good. He knows he's gonna take that back to Vanessa, right?
Yes.
He also tells Vanessa, look, I'm ready to vote out Steve. I'm on board. Let's keep Austin and Liz, and I'll vote out Steve. Like, he's making it like no big deal. I'm not as close to Steve as you said I was.
Yeah, because he's sick of that.
Well,
he's sick of that, like, being hung over his head like he's some final solid, you know, no questions asked final two with Steve.
Only when someone says that over a showmance,
right?
Like, he has to make it clear that that's not the case.
Yep.
It is the case. This is all just game.
Right.
He had to make that clear to Vanessa. So I think what he's doing is genius. Now, from all these different angles, Vanessa's hearing that Johnny Mac doesn't care and he'll vote out Steve.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, it's Steve and Austin on the block, so obviously Liz is going to vote to evict Steve. She wants to keep Austin. Vanessa wants Johnny Mac to vote to evict Austin so that she can then be the tiebreaker, right? Like, that's what she wants.
Well, but that only came up at the end.
What do you mean?
Because she was like, Steve's my target. I'm just putting Austin up as a replacement nominee. And she was saying, you know, talking to Johnny Mac of like, cool, he's gonna vote out Steve, we'll keep Austin, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
It was only then later, because John's still working his game, and he tells Steve, you have to tell her to tell me to keep you. So then he planted seeds in Steve's head. Steve plants seeds in Vanessa's head. All of this is just kind of coming at Vanessa, and then she thinks it's her idea.
Yeah.
That, you know what?
Yeah.
It's time to make a big move.
Yeah.
We need to break up Austin and Liz. What a concept.
Yeah.
I need to get Austin out. And this would be a fun way to do it, because John could vote for Steve, Liz will vote for Austin, or to keep. And then I'll be the tiebreaker, and Austin will have no idea, it'll come out of nowhere.
Yes. Yep.
So that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
it's so many. She has like had so many every single time she's in charge, actually.
I know, but I'm just confused, like why she
it's
wants to do it. Like she's like, let's make our mark in Big Brother history and like make a big move and send Austin home. Like, why weren't you thinking about this from the beginning?
Right. This, again, are these mistakes? Is Vanessa keep like making mistakes and getting paranoid and changing her mind, or has this been part of the game from the beginning, and she just didn't want to like outright be like, but you know, Austin's out this week? Like, was this all part of her plan? She has said in the past, John knows how to win vetoes.
Yeah.
You don't put him up on the block if you really want him out, because he's going to win that veto.
Yeah.
So she knows that in her head. Did she just forget about it?
Forget about it, right.
Or did she have this planned the whole time? Like, I can't keep up. And again, she just came up with this idea and told John and said, let's keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. Austin thinks he's safe. And we'll just blindside everybody.
Yeah.
It'll be good TV, which it would be. Thank you, finally.
I mean, please make it happen.
But she could very easily change her mind. And if if it is a tie and it's up to her, who knows what she'll do. The last minute she could change her mind, and who cares?
Because I feel like what she could do is tell John, like, I want to make a big move. I want you to vote for Austin, blah, blah, blah. So then when it comes down to the votes, you know that Liz has voted for Steve and Johnny Mac has voted for Austin. But then what if Vanessa votes for Steve? Steve is out, and Vanessa can say to Austin and Liz, you got to go after Johnny Mac because he voted to evict Austin. Right. So then she's like sort of guaranteeing her place in the final three or something.
Absolutely.
She could totally do that.
Never can trust Vanessa.
Right.
Never. And Johnny Mac knows that.
He does know that.
And fortunately, Steve knows it too.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's kind of seeing it more and more, but he definitely knows it now. So if she does save Steve, she's got to be gone next week, right?
I would think. Unless they just try to get Liz out. Because here's what's going to be interesting, I think. When Vanessa's responsible for getting Austin evicted, where's Liz going to fall? Well, who is she going to form an alliance with? Is it going to be Steve? Steve sent her sister home. Right. Is she going to go back to Vanessa, even though Vanessa evicted her boyfriend?
Yeah. And that's probably in Vanessa's mind right now, is that yes, Liz will be mad at her for taking Austin out. Liz and Vanessa can legitimately sit down and Vanessa be like, you were never going to win with Austin here. You know, he was ready to take you out. Like, she can say a million things. Liz has been aligned with Vanessa this whole game. She will easily align back with her, even though she knows she can't trust her. She's the safest bet.
So, like, if I were Liz, I feel like
you already don't like Johnny Mac. You never have.
Yeah.
And Steve has pissed you off now.
I guess so. But I feel like maybe it's just because I love Johnny Mac so much, but if I were Liz, I might try to go to Johnny Mac and be like, let's let bygones be bygones, because if you're Liz, you have to know you're not going to win if you go to the final two with Vanessa. Like, wouldn't you, like, if you're Liz, aren't you thinking, like, I want to take someone like Johnny Mac with me to the final two because I think I can beat him because I played a better game?
Liz has never thought yet in this game. And I'm serious. Like, a normal player would think about this stuff, and she has been great in competitions, but she's never made a decision by herself.
That's true.
Austin or Vanessa have made all of her decisions.
Absolutely.
So I think, honestly, take Austin out, and Liz is like clay.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the person, but like manipulable.
Yeah, right. And Vanessa can just make her do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I think that was her plan with Julia. She had to let that go, but it could work with Liz. Yeah. I don't know. This is so exciting. So things are different this week. So we have a Tuesday eviction. Yes. And a Wednesday eviction.
Boom.
So
down
we
to
go.
Final three.
That's it. Final three by end of Wednesday. And then next week, that's it. We choose our winner. Yeah. And this is all crazy, and I tried to like sit down and like map out all the options, and it made my head spin.
Yeah, so how does Vanessa do it? We have no idea.
Right. I don't know why she's so connected with Austin, but she has shown time and time again that she is. So I'm half expecting her to have lied to Johnny Mac. Yeah. And keep Austin and say, John lied. He said he was going to evict Steve, and he didn't. So we need to go after him. And they're going to be like, sure, of course. Yeah. Why not? And then that'll be it.
But then it would be the showmance in the final two. It just seems like...
I mean, I'm sure Vanessa has, you know, plans in her back pocket of breaking up this final two. But I can't imagine it would work.
I think it will make for such a better last few episodes of the season if they just get Austin out this week, because then it legitimately is like any one of these four could make it to the final 2.
Yeah, whoever that next head of household is.
It's
and Vanessa
crucial.
can't play.
Yeah.
So if Johnny Mac wins, he puts up Vanessa
And
and
Liz.
Liz. And I assume he wants to vote Vanessa out, but she could win that power of veto. And then Liz goes. If Steve wins, it's the same thing. I think he puts Vanessa and Liz up.
Yeah.
But if Liz wins,
Johnny and Steve go up.
Johnny and Steve go up.
Yeah.
And Vanessa gets to vote. And she'll be in charge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy.
Yeah, there's so many
It's
possibilities.
so exciting. I can't even.
I know. It seemed like for a while with the Oz twins that it was going to be such a boring last half of the season, but once they got Julie out and broke up the Oz twins, and then once Johnny Mac won that power of veto, everything changed.
I feel like a lot changed when they evicted Johnny Mac and he came right back in the house. I think that was a turning point, and obviously it was a turning point when they evicted Jason as well. Like, so we have had some good turning points that like, woo, mix things up a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, those Oz twins had a good run. I mean, Vanessa's been in charge this whole time, no matter who.
No questions
Right.
asked.
So at the end of the day, that girl's played some good game.
Yep.
Even though I'm confused by a lot of the things that she did.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Steve's played a good game, and I feel like Johnny Mac's played a good game, and I feel like Austin's played a good game.
He is pretty good at manipulating people.
And he's smart. He gets it. Like, he's made some good decisions, and he knows how to, like, lay low when he needs to.
Yeah. And Liz has really impressed me with, like, the number of HOHs she's been able to win. Like,
yeah.
She's come through in competitions in a way I never would have expected.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So next week we will be up we'll talk right before the final. So we'll know the final 3 and we'll talk about what the heck's gonna happen.
Yep.
But then that's it. This has been an amazing season.
Oh, it's been so fun.
Right, guys? So let us know what the heck you think's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 evictions to talk to us about. Like, what the heck?
That's right, yeah. Tell us who you think is going to end up in that final 3 and how. Like, what is the strategy?
Is Vanessa gonna be evicted? Like, is this it? Or is this her game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see you next week then.
Okay, bye!
Bye.